out for the guys on team efficiency. Of course, a bunch of WZ 111.5As as well. No mouses at all for team efficiency. This one...
And only one on Lupin.
Again, we're seeing a fairly standard sort of attacking side coming out from team efficiency. They're getting a few players on that cap, but the difference is here for team efficiency, they have already got a bat chat over towards that forest. Number 7, I'm pretty sure that's Safi and his bat chat here. He's spotting out this angle, and that means that Lupin can't get easy shots in from the town. They can't get easy shots in from the forest onto that cap if and when team efficiency inevitably do start to get on that cap.
So decent map setup or map control taken for team efficiency to get us off the bat. The first damage does go in favor of Lupin. Its scale knocked down a little bit, but it's not too much of anything really as we do get underway here. It's already team efficiency with 3 tanks on the point, 2 WZ 111.5As and a bat chat sitting there getting that cap going. We do have Lupin tanks rotating over to try and get these resets through really, but it's a good start.
It is a good start here for team efficiency. Kranwagen, number 9. Not sure who it is, but it's a Kranwagen, that's for sure. He can get resets from that position. A lot of gun depression on the Kranwagen, the autoloader as well. But it seems as though team efficiency, they've recognized that there's someone out of position. That's the bat chat, number 6, and he has taken a walloping. He's down to a very, very low HP, and it needs to try and work himself out of there in that position. 450 on HP. That is a one-shot for a WZ 111.5A. 490 alpha on a 5A. That is a big chunk of damage. Massive alpha, even for a Tinner's head tank, when we're talking about heavy tanks at least. So this is working out pretty well for team efficiency, and well, let's see what Lupin can do in response after having already lost a Kranwagen.
The cap is back underway again. There's another reset coming through onto that WZ 111.5A. Number 3, whoever number 3 may be, we're actually going to push off this point instead, going for the kills with 5 tanks moving along our team efficiency. They have decided to go take the issue, force the issue, take the fight to Team Lupin. This bat chat is pretty much done. There is no health remaining on that. There's 1 kill at least. Skell goes down, but this bat chat number 1 surely will go down in just a second, and there it is. Botek grabs that kill.
This is what we needed to see from Lupin when their reset got put, like when they got reset on the cap, they were just very, very slow to actually call that fight. Team efficiency here, they knew, and they just decided, let's go, we've got the confidence, we know we can win this fight. Take that fight when you can, and win that fight when you know that you can take the fight as well. So, team efficiency, very, very decisive there. They, again, just showing how quick they are to adapt on the fly here, and Lupin just getting caught napping in a sense, you know, I mean, team efficiency, again, proving to be too strong here for Lupin.
Does indeed look that way as I get the cap started once again. It's worth noting that we decided number 7 is Safi, or we think it is, isn't he?
I believe it's Safi.
5 HP.
Yeah.
That's not much at all. But he, as you can see, he's sitting back there. There's like 1 pixel of health in his health bar, so that's not fun. Botek here is behind the mouse, just going to sit here and do damage. While the mouse charging in to get some resets going, but you'd think that this mouse is not too long for this world. There's still a lot of tanks sitting on the cap. There's the kill for... That was not Botek, actually. That was number 7. I believe. Was it Safi getting that?
Yeah, Safi's up in a position where he could have got shots into that mouse. Where are the bat chats of Lupin? They're just kind of hanging around. 27 seconds left on that cap timer. I mean, we'll see whether or not they're even going to get a reset here. I suppose it shouldn't be too difficult for them to get a reset, but unless they kind of clip out number 7, number 2, and number 3 in this initial clip and maybe get some more resets onto the other tanks so that they can reload as well.
They've got 8 seconds.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, 5 seconds left on this cap. I'm not even sure they're going to get to be able to put any shots in. There's a Hail Mary for number 5 there, but...
Number 5 should get a reset.
Nope.
No, 5 just a second too late. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It wouldn't have made a difference.
2-0 for team efficiency.
2-0 for team efficiency.
No surprises there.
Lupin's map pick goes the way of team efficiency. Yeah, exactly. No surprises there. Muravanka looking pretty good for TE.
Muravanka is where you gave Lupin 1 round, isn't it?
It was where I said if there was going to be a round coming out, if team efficiency was going to do something dumb, it was going to be on Muravanka. In saying that, though, if we do get onto mines, I mean, there's a chance someone does something dumb there, like flips their tank or flies off a climb, or
they go for like 5 tanks on a boost or something.
Maybe there's still a chance here for Lupin, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see what team efficiency's got for us on mines. Obviously, again, coming in from last season, it wasn't one of their preferred maps. This time, it's their first pick, so interesting to see. But team efficiency starting off exactly how we would have expected them to, with the 2-0 there on Muravanka.
So do you then hold by your prediction that team efficiency will do something dumb and give us a 5-1, or do you maybe shift to a 5-0 now?
I honestly, like, pretty much every time I've predicted a 5-0 for team efficiency,
You've
they've
been
won 5-1. And every time I've predicted a 5-1 for team efficiency, they've won 5-0. So it's I think it's a bit of a curse for me. This time maybe I've done the good thing by team efficiency by predicting 5-1. So they'll end up 5-0ing this just to prove me wrong. But yeah, the way that they've gone about that one there, the 2-0, it didn't look like they were under any sort of trouble at all. So realistically speaking, on paper, it's a 5-1. I just want to, sorry, a 5-0. I just want to put that one out there for Lupin, just in case team efficiency does something silly. But, like, it should be a 5-0 for team efficiency. Team efficiency is the team of a high enough caliber to 5-0 Lupin 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with you on paper, or statistically on paper. You know, I'd agree that this is potentially over before it's really even got underway, as we do have the 2-0 on Miravenka to start us off. Moving into Mines, team efficiency 2 rounds to the good. I mean, going on to Mines is their map pick. You've already spoken about how it was like a map they didn't play much last season, if at all, and now they've come out and picked it. So either it's like, usually in this sort of situation, it's a mental game. It's either a mental game where they think we're not good at it, but we're better at the other team, or it's something they've actually been working on. And
I think they have been working on it. Obviously, yeah. I'm not privy to team efficiency scrims or anything like that, but I don't think you pick map number 1 as Mines if you haven't been practicing Mines. Yeah. Even against a team like Lupin, they must have something coming in here onto Mines, and they should be aware of what they need to do at least. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I'm feeling pretty confident for team efficiency after seeing that performance there on Muravenka. Honestly, I'm thinking this should be a 5-0. Yeah,
and they've had the break since, I don't know how long it's been since the last season, but they've had a substantial break to work on this. There's every opportunity that they have taken some time to think that, you know, they realize, or they know steps are going out, therefore they need to get some more maps up. It could be that Mines is their one of choice.
Yeah, definitely, and there are quite a few good teams on Mines in the APAC region. I mean, Karen Tiger, we know that they scrim against Team Efficiency quite a lot. They're kind of like really good buddies, Team Efficiency and Karen Tiger, so they play against each other a lot. If Team Efficiency wanted to practice Mines, there's no better team to practice it against than a team like Karen Tiger, who, like we just saw, got a 2-0 over Yato on Mines. So if they've been scrimming there on Mines, I think that's going to be pretty good for Team Efficiency coming into this one, because they are a strong opponent on that map. So
give them lots to work on.
Give them a lot to work on, exactly. It's better to face a strong opponent than to face a weak one. And so Team Efficiency, at the moment, having a pretty good time. Again, like I'm predicting, they should continue to have a good time heading into Mines here as well. Thinking about how this new roster of Team Efficiency is kind of working out, I mean, it seems like it's the same Team Efficiency of old. Doesn't seem like anything's really slowing down. I mean, JT and the Kranwagen, again, he's kind of taken a bit more of a backseat, coming off something like the Type 5 Heavy, which he used to play a lot of the time, the Mouse every now and then. He's moved back onto the Kranwagen, which was one of his favorite tanks early on in the season. Last season, in Season 2, before the Mouse became prevalent, so nice to see him picking that one up again, getting onto that comfort pick. And for Bales coming in here, I don't know what number Bales actually is, but it seems to be working out pretty well, which is good to see as well, considering I was actually talking to one of the NA casters, Rockstar, before or earlier this week about, you know, what kind of player Bales is and how he's going to fit into this Team Efficiency lineup, and Rockstar sort of told me that Bales was kind of like one of those like damage farm kind of players, a bit of a carry player. You know, you put him in a position, he farms damage, he gets the damage done, and that's kind of an interesting dynamic coming into this Team Efficiency roster, because Bohan obviously is the player that's leaving from Team Efficiency, and he definitely wasn't that kind of player. He was more of a frontline heavy tank player. He'd be in there taking the shots, but he wouldn't necessarily be putting out as much damage. He was more of a supportive, enabling his teammates to do the damage. So there has obviously been a bit of a shuffle around in this Team Efficiency roster, and I mean, it's working at the moment here, but it's, you know, Bales is not necessarily fulfilling the exact role that Bohan did fill last year. Yeah, so last season.
I mean, that sort of role swap, I guess, or acquiring a new player that isn't exactly the same role-wise does mean you will have to have that bit of a shuffle. And of course, it'll be interesting when we do have, you know, next time we see these two teams play, or at least when we see Team Efficiency play, we should have the server updated. They'll actually have names. So it'll be interesting to watch Bale and, you know, see what he's actually doing, what tank he's actually playing. But the fact that we're looking at this lineup, and more importantly, you're looking at this lineup, as you're the one with more knowledge here, you're looking at this and you're not seeing one tank that is obviously out of place that maybe would indicate this is a newer player to the lineup, then, I mean, It's
yeah,
good signs
well,
for
I
Team
mean,
Efficiency
it's
so
hard
far.
to say when basically the entire team is W's at 111 days or a bat chat.
Of course.
Basically. So number 6 here with the Conqueror gun carriage. I don't know who is in that one. JT and Skell, interestingly enough, in the E4s. Now, we did see JT every now and then picking up the tank destroyers last season, but Skell, a little bit new to that one in the WGL. I don't think he picked one up at all last season, though he was the designated Tier 8 player for Team Efficiency last season. TE, though, starting off on the defense, they have a artillery piece on the defense, so that's very, very interesting. We'll see whether or not the Conqueror gun carriage can get anything done here.
Not initially, at least. Doesn't look like. They've taken a little bit of damage onto 2 of their bat chats to start off, but very early on in the piece, it's not going to make too much of a difference just yet, as it looks like we are here on mines.
So, yeah, the defensive setup, very, very standard here. You've got the bat chat forward in H1/2, spotting out the 1-2 line. You've got the mouse, number 3, sitting down there watching for the climb of Lupin if they do opt to go for it. A lot of the time you might see a Type 5 heavy there, but in this case, for Team Efficiency, it's a mouse. Double E4 here from Team Efficiency does lead me to believe that they were kind of expecting a bit of a heavier lineup to come out here from Lupin. The fact that they've got 2 E4s, you generally want to pick the E4 against the mouse, because it is one of those tanks that has a bit of an easier time getting through the armor of the mouse. It's got very, very good penetration. It's a very good pick against the mouse, because it can trade favorably. It's got 750 alpha, the mouse not quite that much. So the E4 is a good pick against the mouse, but here against this lineup of Lupin, there's not really that many mouses. There's 1, and a bunch of 5As as bat chats as well. So maybe those bat chats, if they can outmaneuver the E4s, that could be a bit of a problem here for Team Efficiency, not to mention the fact that there's a Conqueror gun carriage as well here for Team Efficiency, which so far has really not done all that much damage. I think he did just get a bit of a shot into number 4 on the Lupin side, but that's really not too much of a cause for concern. It was not a big damaging shot. Lupin, though, on a bit of a rotation across here. See them moving over to the island on the west, on the 1-2 line.
Yeah, got quite a few players heading over that way, in fact. It looks like, man, it's fun having a look at the numbers. They've got some bat chats headed that way. Yeah, it looks like it's all bat chats headed over to that side of the map right now. So they're going to put the bat chats over here, get the wolf pack assembled, and waiting to hold this island, see what Team Efficiency decide to do.
I mean, I don't mind this here from Lupin, to be honest. If they do cross, and they can cross quickly, maybe they can get over without losing a tank and cause some problems for bat chat number 2 for Team Efficiency. But with the double T110 E4, this is going to be a bit risky here.
Going for it
there
now.
should be at least a couple of shots on the cross here from Team Efficiency. Where's the shots coming across from? The spots are out. There's no shots coming across from Team Efficiency.
There's one that's missed in the water behind them.
Yeah, this is actually pretty bad now for Team Efficiency, because
bat chat
these
number 2 is
chats
going to be in a heck of a problem.
are in a bit of a problem. But Lupin are not aware that bat chat number 7 is hanging around. He's able to get a bit of damage out now. This Conqueror gun carriage, let's see the shot. Not fired yet, waiting for the bat chat to sit still, but that's actually pretty good for Lupin.
The other one. So these bat chats just keep moving, which is the nightmare, isn't it, when you're playing against bat chats? They just won't stop. So now the spot has gone away. The artillery is blind. Oh, there's one bat chat, so can still go for a shot here.
He moved his hull, which made his
made his accuracy worse.
Accuracy way worse, and just holding on to this shot. Really not getting too much done in that Conqueror gun carriage. Meanwhile, it's a bit of a push coming out from Team Efficiency onto the hill as well. The Mousers are trying to make something happen here for Team Efficiency. And really, they're not getting all that much done, and the cap is already on. Now, the problem for this cap here for Lupin is that it, generally speaking, is pretty easy resets for that position that JT is sitting in. Not to mention the fact that there is an artillery on the point here. The RD fires. That's a good shot, actually. A fair bit of damage over to the bat chat, but not too much to make a big problem here. And what these bat chats need to do is basically they need to YOLO JT in that E4 so that he can't get easy resets. That's what they're doing. They're pushing him out of position. And now this is looking okay here for Lupin.
So this could maybe be where Lupin grabbed that one round, or perhaps more.
Yeah, Skell's come in with the other E4, causing a bit of a problem. JT will be off the reload very, very soon here. Batchat number 2 is going to take a big shot from him, 2 seconds or thereabouts, and JT should get this off before he goes down, which he does. He will get dropped here, but that's going to allow Skell in his E4 to have enough alpha to be able to take down this Batchat here. Batchat number 2 should be dying relatively shortly.
As soon as Skell gets over here and gets a shot, there it is. Does take 300 damage for his trouble,
Now,
Skell. But
problem here for Team Efficiency is that they need that reset. There's 4 seconds.
Oh my goodness,
what are they relying on? The artillery's not getting the reset. The Mouses are not pushing.
Oh,
there
it
we
is.
go. Just in time, the reset does come across from Team Efficiency. So that was good. It was going to be a little bit of a,
it was all but
poor
done.
moment there for Team Efficiency if they didn't get that reset across, but they had faith in that artillery. Now it's a 4 versus 3, and one of the 3 for Team Efficiency is the artillery.
They're keeping this very, very close. Only just pulling that reset in. That's 2 when it's been about a second left now, but they're still going for this. 2 versus 4, though.
I don't think the Conqueror's going to be off reload in time. It has to be mouse number 3 to push forward. He gets
tracked.
No, the artillery did get a reset just in time, but that's an awful spot to be tracked in a mouse. You're basically... You're done. There's a guy behind you shooting your butt. The round's over. Team Efficiency, what really went wrong for them there, in my mind, was those Batchats that crossed onto the beach.
Got passed unharmed.
They got passed unharmed. You need to be doing a lot more damage than that. We needed to see both the E4s getting a shot across, or I mean, JT wasn't in really a position to get a shot when they crossed, but he needed to get a shot when they pushed up onto the beach or something. We needed more damage to come out from Team Efficiency while those Batchats were crossing on the beach. And, well, there's that one round that I'm giving Dark Wolves, Lupin. I'm going to do it so many times tonight. That's the round that I'm giving Lupin. That was a misplay from Team Efficiency. A weird sort of a setup having an artillery piece there as well in the defense. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan. Moving in on attack, I'm hoping that they're going to be able to come back here and at least equalize here on Moans.
Yeah, because, I mean, I guess you could make the case for that Artie in that it did get the resets across a few times there, or at least once on that cap, but then you could also make the argument that if they didn't have an Artie and had a more mobile tank...
if they didn't have the Artie, maybe they have another Batchat just watching that cross, and there's a bunch of extra damage onto the Batchats. Yeah. Maybe the Batchat on the beach doesn't go down, and that completely denies any sort of notion of a cap there onto the 2 flag from Lupin. So, you know, there's a lot of theory crafting in that one, but to be honest, I don't think that the artillery really worked out. We saw a lot of the time he was kind of looking for shots, but wasn't actually getting any shots off.
Like he was chasing Batchats over in this, the bottom, the most, I suppose, like, you know, the K1-2 line.
Yeah, exactly.
That sort of area. He was chasing shots on those, like 2 of those 3 Batchats.
This part was actually really nicely played, though, by Team Efficiency. It was a good rotation across from Skell to help out JT, and they made that work, a 2-for-1, but it just wasn't enough in the end. The Mouses in the middle were eventually out-positioned, and Team Efficiency lost off the back of that. And again, you know, if we had an extra Batchat here instead of a Conqueror gun carriage, maybe we've got a Batchat in that late round situation that can do a little bit more work than the Conqueror can, but admittedly the Conqueror did get a nice reset to keep Team Efficiency in it a little bit longer. Overall, not a great performance, I got to say, from Team Efficiency on the defensive side of Mines. They just didn't seem to have the angle set up right. Their defensive hold was a little bit off. So, yeah, we'll see what they can do on the attack. Yeah,
like with those 3 Batchats pushing that you mentioned, there was one shot that was taken. I'm not sure who by, if it was a Batchat or an E4 that went into the water behind them.
It doesn't even matter, though. Like,
still,
one shot, even if that would have hit, doesn't make much of a difference.
Like, it's one shot that missed, but one shot hitting is still not going to stop 3 Batchats. It might hinder 1.
I wonder if maybe the spots didn't come across quick enough from the Batchat that was holding on the island there, and so maybe there was, maybe the Team Efficiency guys were actually aiming on the cross, but there was no spots because the Batchat might have been just holding a little bit too far forward behind the rock or something like that. Obviously, the spot's not quite working in the mod at the moment for the spectator, but that could have been part of the reason why. I have to only theorize as to what it could have been. But, you know, at the end of the day, there was no shots on the cross there from Team Efficiency. Whether it was the fault of the Batchat on the island not spotting properly, whether it was the fault of the entire Team Efficiency lineup not having a correct angle, or whether or not the shots just missed, you know, it wasn't the correct situation for Team Efficiency. They need to get some damage on that cross.
Exactly. You can't just let, you know, an entire pack of 3 Batchats be getting past you. So, therefore, my question to you was, you gave 1 round to Lupin on the basis that Team Efficiency was do something stupid and lose a round. Did they do something stupid, or did they just get outplayed?
I don't think it was something stupid, so to speak. Like, when I say something dumb like that, I mean like they flip a tank, or
oh yeah, no, of course,
or they drive off a cliff and die, or something like that. That wasn't really like a dumb play from Team Efficiency. It was just a misplay.
Yeah.
And they weren't positioned correctly for the attack that Lupin wanted to make. Lupin read it pretty well. I mean, they figured out what they needed to do, get rid of those guys on the beach. They had the advantage there in the 3 versus 2 with the Batchats. They pushed decisively. They had the correct idea, and they made it work. So kudos to Lupin as well for making that one work.
Exactly. Credit where it's due.
Exactly. They at least were able to make something happen there, as opposed to just waiting the timer down and eventually having to push and then getting wrecked. So at least they've managed to do something there, and they've shown us that they've got some confidence at least.
So that leaves us in a 2-1 for the series. So assuming that Team Efficiency win out from here, that means we have 1 more round of Mines and 2 of Himmelsdorf remaining before we have them close it out. Do you see the clear shutout from here? I mean, it was a very strong Team Efficiency on map 1 on Miravenka. Bit of a misplay on the defense this time, but I don't think, I mean, I'm going to ask you the same question, but I personally don't think that's anything really negative for them for the rest of the series, right?
Yeah, I really don't see Team Efficiency having any troubles on Himmelsdorf, that is for sure. Mines on the attack, you know, I guess it comes down to how much they've been pracking that one. I can see that potentially, maybe, you know, being a bit shaky compared to Himmelsdorf, but Himmelsdorf is not a map where you're going to really see the weaker team getting a round win so easily. Admittedly, we have seen it in the past. For example, Coalition Zoo got a round over EL Gaming with the dumbest strat I've ever seen last season, but it worked. But I feel it's fairly unlikely here that Team Efficiency should drop a round on Himmelsdorf. That is, so maybe Mines, not Himmelsdorf.
Yeah, so maybe 2 rounds for Lupin, which means that would of course push us to a 4-2, assuming that both rounds on Himmelsdorf go to Team Efficiency, which means we have 1 round of Prokhorovka.
Prokhorovka, you know, there is the potential maybe that Dark Wolves could get something there if Team Efficiency doesn't read the setup correctly, and Dark Wolves just put themselves in a good position, maybe on one side of the rails, Team Efficiency stuck on the other side of the rails, a reset doesn't come out, or Team Efficiency push down a 1-2 line, there's a couple of STRVs waiting for them, something like that. But again, I still feel like Prokhorovka should favour Team Efficiency for the most part. I would probably predict them for a 2-0 on Prokhorovka if they needed it. But there's that potential for a misplay or an outplay coming out on Prokhorovka a little more than I feel on Himmelsdorf.
I mean, there is, but the other thing is, everything you've said when I've asked you, you know, is it possible that Team Efficiency could lose this, that, or the other? Everything you've said has been contingent on if Team Efficiency, you know, make a misplay, or if this goes well for Lupin, or, you know, if. So
yeah, it's all ifs.
Exactly. So I think it's much more likely that Team Efficiency will just close this out relatively easily.
Yeah, well, that's what we've been saying throughout our entire class so far. Team Efficiency definitely coming into this one favoured. Yeah, they have a bit of a hiccup there on Mines. I'm not going to harp on about it too much, because I'm sure they probably know better than I do what mistakes they did make on that one. And clearly there was some mistakes, otherwise they wouldn't have lost it. But it's not going to worry them, to be honest. This is a team where in Season 1, if they would have lost a round like that, or a couple of rounds in a row, we would have been thinking, you know, these guys are going to go on tilt a little bit, and then they end up getting 5-2'd by some team. But this team now is much more mature. They're much more ready to deal with a loss like that. I think they're just going to shake that one off and come into now number 2 here. Pretty easily. We do see an RHM Panzerwagen coming out as well. That is going to be Safi in that one, and he's in a bit of a spot of bother here. The Batchats are still on the reload for the moment. They should be coming off right about now, and Safi being a little bit cheeky, he actually gets the timing perfect there, because the Batchat wasn't quite off the reload, and so he gets a sneaky free shot in as well. A couple of shots coming out from the mouse as well when the Batchats were crossing into the town. That's exactly how that setup works there for Team Efficiency. Oh, Safi's going to be a bit disappointed that that one's connected. That was a pixel shot and a half. Position. The Conqueror giving number 1 Batchat a bit of a love tap there as well, just to say, hands off my Safi.
Don't be touching my Safi, boy.
Yeah. But Lupin, you know, they wanted to gain control of that hill, and they have, but they've sacrificed quite a lot for it. The Batchat's now pretty much a one-shot for a mouse. Not for, obviously, another Batchat or Safi in his light tank. But look at this. What are you doing? I have no idea what number 1 is trying to do here. I mean, obviously he's trying to get some shots into Safi, but you are walking into... You're walking into Team Efficiency's gun. That is a major misplay coming out from Batchat number 1.
Artie as well. It is the Team Efficiency Artie. It's actually Conqueror...
gun carriage.
Gun carriage, thank you.
347 damage as well into Batchat number 9. Not too bad. And Team Efficiency know they've got the advantage here. They've got the mouses. They want to take a brawl, and it's just like...
The Batchat's just running away. And
he has to run away, but so many misplays coming out there from Lupin and allowing so much free damage to come across for Team Efficiency. I think this round is pretty much already over, barring Batchat some sort of massive throw from Team Efficiency.
Did himself some damage there, not doing himself any favours. See, I'd agree with you. This round, it looks like Team Efficiency are feeling much more comfortable.
Team Efficiency might have overextended just a little bit there, and I think they are recognizing that. Number 3 and number 5 Mouse, they did walk into some good shots of Lupin, and they've decided they want to back out of that crossfire. Another shot comes across from the artillery. Safi still being a bit of a pain in the butt for the bat chance. Overall, it's still looking pretty favorable here for Team Efficiency. I think they might have gotten punished if they would have pushed those Mouses in against a better team, but against Lupin here, they're not really losing all that much.
Not really. I mean, they've still got 7 tanks up. They've already taken out 1 of Lupin's. They do have some players low. Scale's pretty low on HP. So too is Safi in the Panzerwagen, but
Team Efficiency are bleeding a little bit of HP here. Yeah, they're trading, but at the moment, what I would really like to see Team Efficiency do is just slow things down. They don't need to be going too aggressively here. They have the artillery. You can see how much damage he gets done. 400 onto the WZ-111 5A. That 5A can't really move either, because
pretty much
he doesn't have anywhere to go.
He's got pinned down.
But every time that artillery's off the reload, that 5A takes 400 damage. Eventually the 5A dies. He's trying to hide from the artillery. You can see him backing up onto the mine. They know where these Mouses are. If the artillery moves a little bit, he can get shots onto the Mouses there as well. Now we see Safi rotating around the north of the map,
Safi's on an adventure
over towards the 0 line. He's probably going to go for the 0 line boost here. It's unlikely, as far as Team Efficiency is concerned, that anyone from Lupin is going to be watching that angle. They're all too concerned with the Mouses on the mid. And of course, you can see Safi here. He's completely unlit. No one has spotted him going up that cap, and as of yet, haven't really had any problems at the moment for Team Efficiency. I mean, even the Conqueror gun carriage for Lupin, I completely forgot that they even had that, because I don't think it's had any kind of an impact here. Yeah,
that's what I was going to get at earlier, that both teams have a Conqueror gun carriage, but Lupin's hasn't done anything, and Safi is on a bit of an off-roading adventure. He's having a good time up on the boost.
Yep.
There's no way anyone can hit him up here. He's just going to be a nuisance now.
Well, I mean, he can get hit when he peaks, but realistically, it's very difficult for Lupin to deal with him, and he's going to get some shots into either the artillery on, obviously, Lupin down towards the bottom area of that map, or he can get some shots into WZ-111 5A, number 5 for Lupin.
Well, there's the Artie coming through, finally.
And now that basically gives away the position of the Artie. Team Efficiency knows exactly where he is.
I wouldn't be surprised if Safi just hunts it.
He could definitely do that. See whether or not this Artie is going to get a shot onto the Mouses.
On both Mouses.
Yeah, it'll splash both of them.
When that shot is taken.
He's waiting for them to be respotted.
Wants the spot to come through.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He will wait for one of his teammates to peek out and get that across the line, but I still feel like this one is still favourable for there. Yeah, there we go. That's a shot into both Mouses. And that's decent damage.
To be honest, I mean, this is not a foregone conclusion. I think we're making this out to be much more than it is for Team Efficiency. They have lost a lot of HP, and the majority of their HP is actually on the Mouses, which aren't really playmaking tanks. Safi, though, in a really, really good angle. Look at this. These Mouses are not going to have a very fun time. Of course, he's going to be loading his heat shots here to try and penetrate the Mouse. It is going to be tough for that Tier 10 light tank to get through the armor of a Mouse, particularly at this range. You know, you can't really hit the weak spots as easily. The angle of the Mouses at the moment, you can see, is quite good, so he's not getting through them very easily, but they're stuck there. They're taking shots from the artillery, they're taking shots from Safi up on the climb. Eventually, this will favour Team Efficiency. Now Safi's looking for someone sitting back there. That's generally a pretty standard position where the artillery could be playing from, but at this point we know obviously the artillery is not in that position.
It is not indeed. Here's another Artie shot coming in from the Lupin Conqueror gun carriage, looking for a shot onto perhaps second Mouse. He knows that one's there, but the other one is in fact coming in from behind. I'm not actually sure if that shot's been taken or not, but it hasn't done much, and here is Safi still going. This time he actually gets through the Mouse. Yeah,
they're basically completely flat on the side to Safi here, so he shouldn't have too many difficulties penetrating their armor.
He's above them.
He's above them as well, so the angle's pretty nice for him. He's just going to be peppering off free shots every day of the week. That one might not pen, but yeah, he missed that one actually. Still, it doesn't really matter. He's done his job up there on the climb. He's put enough pressure on the Mouses that they've decided to push forward, and this gives Team Efficiency enough room to maneuver now that they can actually take these brawls. The artillery here as well is going to do a ton of damage to the 5A, and the Mouse might even clean up the 5A if he gets a nice connection. Let's have a look and see.
Back.
Not quite, but
5A just dodges it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The Mouse is going to get in there and clean things up.
Yep. There's one Mouse gone. The 5A is very, very low on HP and shouldn't be around for too much longer either. Speaking of low on HP, that 7 Bat Chat on the Lupin side pretty much has nothing left to go for it. Yep. There goes the 5A. There is one kill. There was a trade.
Yeah.
Mouse for 5A, but it's in this sort of situation, Team Efficiency still have 6 tanks up versus the almost only one. That's a
bounce off
That's
a
a
bad chat.
bounce.
It's a really bad feeling when that happens.
Oh, you never want to do that.
Anyway, Scale gets the kill onto the bat chat. Safi in the meanwhile has found the Conqueror, but he can't actually get the kill at the moment. I think he's probably just going to YOLO in here for the play. And
oh, got
mid-air!
him!
Mid-air!
That wrecked Safi.
That is a pretty nice connection coming out from
no worries. And some
number
upside
2.
down as well. What do you get?
Have your
Goodness
cake
me.
and eat it, Safi. Jesus.
So much for you and your tier 10 light tank,
That
mate.
was a PogChamp moment if
That
I
was
ever
awesome.
saw one. Anyway, the game's still over, but that was a bit of excitement. That is for
was cool.
sure.
And number 2
Mid-air.
bat chat will come through and clean up the remaining Conqueror gun carriage. But that was a heck of a kill onto Safi. That was cool.
All right, so 3-1 here for team efficiency. Lupin, they did seem okay there on the defensive mines. I mean, it didn't obviously go their way once Safi got up on the boost. The artillery was doing a lot of work there as well for team efficiency, but they were in that contest. You know, it was a contest. It wasn't just team efficiency rolling over Lupin so easily. I think team efficiency probably could have done it a little bit easier. They got a little bit overzealous towards the start. They're pushing the Mausers forward a little bit too much. They took a bit too much damage. They kind of wanted to push the issue once they got that initial pick, but they could have played it a little bit slower, done it a little bit cleaner, but overall, I mean, a win's a win there for team efficiency. Can't really complain about that one at all. So they're up 3-1. I think they can close this one out 5-1 here on Himmelsdorf, like we talked about during the last mid-round sort of discussion.
Yeah, I think it should just be a 2-0 on Himmelsdorf and a 5-1 in the series. And the other thing for team efficiency was there as well that, as you mentioned, they did overcommit early on. They got the Mausers up really early, trying to close out after that one pick, and they did start taking damage, but they realized they were overcommitting. They did pull back a little bit, and that let them keep, you know, the majority of their tanks up, and that let them get into later games. So, potential bit of a mistake, but they recovered it well enough, and as you said, a win's a win.
Yeah, we'll have a look at how that all played out here, and really, I have no idea what this bat chat was doing.
Safi's being so annoying there.
Yeah, that was just really silly. Basically giving up your life. Not to mention the fact that number 7 bat chat took a massive amount of damage on the cross. Like, that's essentially 2 bat chats down off the start of the battle, and how are you going to win from that? I mean, I'm impressed at how close Lupin made it look from that position that they started off at. So, yeah.
It's all about the arty kill, man.
Was not good at all for Lupin, that is for sure. But the arty kill, yeah, that's going to be, I think, hopefully the next clip here.
Oh, let's
have a look at this.
Can we get a slow-mo? That'd be cool. Oh, goodness me.
Did he actually, you know, I think he might have hit the ground behind him and just splashed him for the kill.
I don't know, though,
I'm
because
not sure.
Safi rolled over that way, like away from the arty, which would therefore imply the explosion was in front of him.
I'm not sure. The explosion doesn't have physics.
I don't know. I was going to say, I'm questioning the physics engine of a game I don't fully understand.
Yeah,
so
explosions don't actually have physics.
logically, it makes sense to me. Let me believe he hit him.
It would be cool. I have to go and look at that one again in slow motion to kind of figure it out. But regardless, it's a pretty exciting kill. That is for sure.
Fun.
And Safi, you know, thanks again, Safi, for making that possible with your driving antics. If you guys haven't seen the clip of Safi and Gronowski flipping their tank on cliffs, let's have a look.
Let's see. So he comes in.
You can see the trail here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's hit the ground behind Safi.
Oh yeah,
and
the smoke rising from the.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Anyway,
doesn't matter. It was cool.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that clip of Safi and Gronowski from last season flipping their tank on cliff, just check out the clips.
Is this the one you posted on the forum?
That is the one.
You were like, good luck, have fun, don't do a team efficiency, and link to a clip. So I'm guessing that was it.
That was that clip, yeah.
That was a good time.
Just click on clips up on the WGL EN Twitch page, and it's like the second most popular one.
Of course it is. What's the most popular one? Is it another fail or is it a good
No,
play?
it was one from the grand finals where there was like this mad boost going on steps.
Okay.
But yeah, that's from another region. Yeah, anyway, so team efficiency. I like watching team efficiency because they make things like that happen. They're just going to yellow in and do that sort of crazy stuff. Would have been probably even pretty cool if Safi would have like Goomba stomped the artillery there, but it wasn't the case. Anyway.
Would that be possible in a light tank?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, I suppose coming in at that sort of angle and
He's
speed.
going in at that speed. Maybe he definitely would have died from it. He was going to die regardless there.
Exactly.
With that amount of air that he managed to
like,
get,
no, I'm done.
He's dead. But if he would have hit the arty would have died as well. So anyway, moving on to Himmelsdorf here. Don't know what side each team's going to be starting off. I don't think it really matters here, to be honest. Team efficiency should be pretty confident on this map. It's been pretty good for them last season. And again, coming into this season, Himmelsdorf, hasn't changed that much. It's going to be a bunch of Mausers, going to be probably a few 5As, that kind of thing. They should have no problems here closing it out against Lupin. I almost said
You got it. You got it. Like, you saved
Lupin.
it before you said it. Well done.
Lupin. We got it.
The Lupin.
The Lupin.
Excellent. Go on.
You know, every time I say Lupin, I think of Harry Potter, because Professor Lupin. I don't know if that's what they were going for.
I totally understand what you're going for. It's just that I made a really terrible pun and you glossed over it. So
what?
I said they were throwing you forward to loop.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah, okay.
You were too busy like rolling on with the Harry Potter reference.
Man, Harry Potter #1.
#1?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not even going to challenge that because I don't have anything reasonable to challenge it with. I just thought I'd throw it out there. There's the Elfish screen. There it is. Excellent.
Can we just get a sweaty Blakey up instead? Because that's pretty much where I'm going right now. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
all
excellent.
Right. We always got to get a little bit of go-go into our...
a little bit of go-go.
Into our broadcast. You know, rip blue shirt guy.
Blue shirt guy.
Always in my heart. Always in everyone's heart. Maybe we'll get him back later on
usually
in the
the building as well.
By the way. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, Himmelsdorf. I mean, I think we've kind of talked to death about it, to be honest.
Well, actually, if we've got some time to fill, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I want your favorite tank functionally, like to play or to see, and then your favorite tank aesthetically.
Ooh.
Because my favorite tank, because, you know, I'm relatively new to the game, my favorite tank that I've picked, which is the Grill 15, I've picked because I think it looks like it has a really long nose and it's hilarious and I adore it. So I've picked my favorite just based on I love the way it looks. But you actually know things about the game, therefore I want one for functionality and one for aesthetics.
My favorite tank to play at the moment is the T10. Because I like that playstyle. It's kind of like a heavy medium, tier 9 Russian heavy, but it's very, very fast, and it's got good hull down, it's got a good gun, it's got good armor, it's kind of got a bit of everything. You can kind of go anywhere. So it's a fun tank to play, and yeah, I mean, it works in the current meta because you can brawl up against the heavies as well. I would have said the Bat Chat before the mouse buff, but nowadays the Bat Chat, it's not as fun to play because you run up against a mouse and you're like, well, what am I going to do here?
Reverse, very quickly.
More or less, or press 2 to win. But if you were asking me for my favorite tank by looks, I'm actually a big fan of the T125, which is the American heavy tank. And I don't know, it just, to me, it's like the quintessential, when I think of what a tank looks like, that's kind of the look that I get. And so that's why I like it.
There you go. I mean, well, in that case, I still want a reaction like my Grill one. So what's your favorite hilarious tank? Like, what tank is the funniest to you?
The Duck.
The Duck?
Yeah. Guess what it looks like?
A duck.
Yes, it looks like a duck.
I'm assuming like the amphibious sort of vehicle thing?
Yeah, no, it's tier 4 French light tank, and it sucks, but it looks like a duck.
Excellent.
And it's great. Oh my goodness, we've got a 4005? Who's... what? Lupin, please? Okay, that's interesting. So they could get some use out of that. So there's a couple of 50Bs here for team efficiency.
25 words or less. FV 4005. Why not?
Boom, boom. Bang, it's a big gun. Penetrate 50B.
Are we talking a derp gun or are we talking a big gun?
Yes, it's a derp gun, more
cool.
Basically. If he pens, he does big damage. If he doesn't pen, he still does big damage.
You know, Jordan, 25 words or less doesn't mean omit grammar words.
Well, you know what? I had to dumb it down for you, Tim.
Well,
it can work actually though, this 4005. I can see this working. It's a bit of a risky gamble though. Like if, for example, Team Efficiency just picked a bunch of Mauses here, that 4005 may not have had much of an impact. But the fact that there's 250Bs, I mean the 5A even to an extent, if you can get a side or a back shot, the 4005 can penetrate that. So we'll see what he can do in the 4005, but I'm not holding my breath, let's put it that way.
Well, alright. That's okay. You don't have to hold your breath because you're not the one with a FV4005 shooting at you. I'll go for the name eventually. It's going to be Team Efficiency who have to deal with the 4005, but it appears that, you know, as you said, it's not going to be too much of a difficulty for them. The Mouse pack rolling out, 4 of them for Lupin.
And none of them are spotted out yet either. A bit interesting, this setup here from Team
That's a heck
Efficiency.
of a surprise. Can you imagine if you're a Bat Chat, right? You roll around a corner and there's 4 Mouses bearing down on you?
Yeah, who's going to spot? Is Skell or JT? JT, is he in range to spot out these guys? Yes, he is apparently. So you can see the 50Bs. The number 2 and the number 6 are in the perfect position to get shots on this cross here. Team Efficiency are aware that that banana push was the thing, and I thought that they were going to have JT down on the F line to spot, but instead he's up towards the sort of the D line, and he still spots them out. That's a good start there for Team Efficiency. Obviously not a massive amount of damage comes out, but the 50Bs,
the last spot they had.
Exactly, the 50Bs both able to put out their clips. They'll be on reload here, but JT does get spotted out and takes a massive amount of damage up from the hill there. Bit of a trade back there now, so we're even Steven at the moment, but Lupin has gained some map control and JT is still under pressure.
Well, relatively low, down 1,000 health in that Mouse. That's no good for him, but
4005 took a bit of damage
exactly.
up
I
on
was
the hill
about to
as well.
say, decent damage has been done to the 4005. The tank, which we talked about for most of the start of this round, might end up being useless if it gets taken out here, but...
I think he got one shot off onto JT, which would have been like a 400, 500 kind of a roll. Obviously wouldn't have penetrated that one onto a mouse. But Lupin now have got some crucial map control here, and they can get into that 2 flag, and we'll see what Team Efficiency is going to be able to do to try and reset this cap timer that inevitably is going to start off very, very soon. Bit interesting that there's a couple of 50Bs this far forward.
Yeah, it looks like they're rotating the 50Bs in the 5A.
I suspect the 50Bs here for Lupin aren't actually going to get on the cap. They're going to be waiting there to come around and clip someone that pushes forward from Team Efficiency to get the reset on the Mouses there. So that's what we need to focus on. Bowtech will need to get some big shots into those 50Bs and try and keep them busy. But it does seem as though Lupin are actually kind of keen to just jump in here and try and take a fight. Not sure this is the right idea. Bowtech getting a bit of damage out onto, well, pretty much everyone. And now Lupin, that was not a very good trade. I will say that much.
No. Good thing they're not playing on the team good trades, because that didn't work for them very well.
Yeah.
I do like that they almost have a nice gradient line of their health. Almost. Number 4 has a little bit too much health for it to be aesthetically pleasing, but either way, that should show you that it's not gone too well for them. This initial push, they had 5 tanks ready to move on to that point, and they've all fallen back for now. They do still have 1 Mouse tucked in this corner. It's actually a little bit annoying for Team Efficiency. They might have to push forward to try and get him out of there, but they can keep fighting all of his teammates.
They certainly can. I think at the moment Lupin's just trying to do as much damage to Team Efficiency as they can before that cap timer gets too low. But this is kind of now where the Team Efficiency guys have to start to push in. If another tank does get on the cap, it's going to drop down a little bit even quicker, down to like 15 seconds now. So they need to be ready to get that reset. And the 4005 up there on the hill, it shouldn't be that much of a concern for Team Efficiency if they're just pushing the Mouses forward. And you're exactly right. That is the big reset that Team Efficiency needed. So now they've got another 2 minutes breathing room. And Lupin, again, just trading very, very poorly here against Team Efficiency in those Mouses. And Team Efficiency, the issue's being forced on them.
Here comes the 50Bs.
The 50Bs indeed are pushing forward, but they're not getting much done here, to be honest. They're even getting taken out. So overall, this has been a pretty messy round from Lupin and Team Efficiency. Their 50Bs, they're around the back. They're ready to clip out some Mouses.
There you go, and that's with the 50Bs there. They pushed 1 in, but that 50B was low health. The remaining one overcommits frantically to try and trade, and then they got focused, got taken down. The triple Mouse does push up for Lupin to try and do anything, but all of these Mouses are just going to get hit every single time, which means, you know, the cap's going to get reset all the time as it is there again. So the Mouses are still pushing the issue here. They're going, but
well, you see that brief little moment of hope for the Mouses on Lupin there when they're pushing into these ones. But basically, the only reason that Team Efficiency hasn't already won this is because their 50Bs are still on reload. Once the 50Bs come off reload, they wrap around the back, they kill them. If the 4005 hits one of them, I mean, who cares? At this point, it doesn't really matter. This should be all said and done. One Mouse takes out another, such as the life on Himmelsdorf, but the 50Bs are here.
Fire.
And this one's going to be over very shortly once number 6 does go down. Well, number 6 versus number 6. And 4005, number 6, could go pretty big here. In fact, he decides to try and get the shot into Bowtech instead of the 50B. But he's dead. So, round goes the way of Team Efficiency. They will be up 4-1 now. 1 round away from closing this one out at a 5-1, just so that I can get my prediction correct. Thanks, boys.
I'll get mine right too.
You copied me, though.
I didn't do any such thing.
I predicted first.
That was an original thought.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
I would, but I'm out of Rick and Morty references to make.
All right, so nothing really too impressive from Lupin this time here on Himmelsdorf.
Well, it's again, I noticed that tendency they had on previous maps where they seem to like, they want to push the issue, so they just get super aggressive as soon as things start changing, and they just got shut down.
They really were taking some pretty strange fights there. Like, they were trying to trade with Team Efficiency, and mechanically speaking, Team Efficiency is the stronger side here, so I feel as though Lupin, their better idea there would have been to get the Mouses sitting on the cap there, have the 4005 watching down that B line, have the 50Bs sitting sort of hidden on the A line, and wait for Team Efficiency to push in and try and get those resets, then spring the trap with the 50Bs, come around the corner, don't necessarily commit to it, but just peek the corner, clip out a Mouse, fall back. By that stage, you've got a tank advantage, or you've at least gone 1-for-1, as opposed to what Dark Horse did, or what Lupin did, which was just trade badly. It was bad trades, not good trades. Like you said, a good thing they're not on good trades, because they were bad trades at that point.
They were, and like that double 50B push as well, it was, they decided to get their 50Bs in finally to try and do some damage onto the Team Efficiency guys holding the point, but they sent a weakened 50B in first, which got taken down instantly. Actually, yeah, they sent a weakened one in first, which died instantly. The stronger one went in to try and trade, but got focused by 3 tanks, and the 3 Mouses roll up, and it's just like, the timing's a bit It
was a bit off. We'll have a look at the replays here and see if there was maybe something that we missed. Well, actually...
Yeah, see, this is the 50Bs.
This is the 50Bs,
okay, so
just
it's the strong one, yeah.
derping in.
That's right, yeah, so the weak one gets killed and the front one gets focused. So that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I don't really know what the thought process was there for Dark Wolves. Lupin, to be honest. It's basically, yeah, it is what it is, really. So we'll see how the second half...
how it is, Jordan.
We'll see what the second half of Himmelsdorf here has for us, but team efficiency I will be expecting to see looking a bit better on the attacking side here than what we just saw from Lupin. I like, though, that we're seeing a few more 50Bs nowadays here on Himmelsdorf. We haven't yet seen a double 50B looking really like the dominant sort of a tank. I mean, the best example of it was Yato against the IS-7 of Yupa sitting in that hull down position where they just clipped him out, and that's what I love to see. You get both the 50Bs, they clip out their shells, they delete a tank, they back out, they reload, they go forward, do the exact same thing again, and it's like one of the most satisfying things to watch in World of Tanks, I think, in WGL. But that clearly really wasn't the case here. It was mostly the Mausers in that particular round that were doing most of the work. Even the E3 of Botek was doing quite a bit of damage as well.
It was. So that makes it now 4-1 as we move into the second round of Himmelsdorf, which is the second last map, I guess, avoiding the tiebreaker.
It's the last map, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, we could make it onto Prokhorovka, but I doubt it. This should be at the 5-1 for team efficiency, which means we might get predictions right, which would be novel.
Oh well, look, it's
not
just
novel for you,
another day at the office for me, Tim.
Oh man, did everyone realize this is the real Elfish guy who's always correct? The real one.
Look, I'm correct 98% of the time. The other 3% doesn't count. Pretty sure I've used that with you before on the broadcast.
No, you haven't actually used that one with me. I think you've used like 60% of the time. It's every time, or something of that nature. But you've never used the 98 and 3. So
yeah, 98% of the time
original.
I'm right. 3% doesn't count.
Cool.
But yeah, look, it's hard to predict anything about a team efficiency victory here. They have looked pretty comfortable there. I mean, obviously that game on Mines that they lost, they didn't look that great, but I think that was just bad positioning, misplays from team efficiency. 4-1 at the moment, you know, that's a very, very good strike rate here for team efficiency. You have to back them again to close this one out.
You'd think so, which means that in theory we're 10 minutes away, really, or 15 minutes away at most of...
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, of this one being all done and that being a 5-1, which would be a very good start of the season for team efficiency. Of course,
it's a good start, but it's an expected start. They can't really rest on their laurels after that one. I don't think they will. I mean, tomorrow's the real challenge for them. They're playing against EL Gaming, so this is a nice ease into the season for team efficiency. But in day number 2, they're going to be jumping right on to the guys on EL Gaming, and that is going to be a pretty cool rivalry to see unfold here again in the extended season. So we'll talk about that a bit more tomorrow, heading here onto Himmelsdorf once more. Very similar lineups to what we saw. In fact, I think the Lupin lineup this time is the exact same as the team efficiency lineup that we saw defending last round, where they've got the E3, double 50B. Did team efficiency have a 5-8? I don't think they did.
No, I think
they had
something
4 Mausers.
I can't remember, to be honest with you, but it's pretty similar. It's like plus or minus 1 tank.
Yeah, it's more or less the same thing. And team efficiency...
Triple Maus, double 5A, double 50B. No 4005 this time.
I think that's probably the correct decision. I'm really kind of a little perplexed as to why Lupin picked the 4005. It was a pretty meta pick for Himmelsdorf back in the old meta when the mouse wasn't a thing. But when you basically are seeing 3 to 4 mouses on any given team on Himmelsdorf, I don't think that 4005 is necessarily a viable pick. The E3 or the E4 is going to be able to more consistently get damage out because of their penetration, their alpha, their armor. The 4005, it's a gamble, really. You get that one big shot, you're like, yes, we made it work.
Well, that's the thing with derp guns.
If it doesn't, then it's kind of a worthless pick. It's got no armor. It doesn't offer anything. It's not a threat to a mouse, really. So, yeah, I would have rather seen an E4 there instead of a 4005, I think, for Lupin last round. Not that it probably would have helped them all that much, because Team Efficiency were the better team regardless. And so having a look at this setup from Team Efficiency, I mean, this is, again, a fairly defensive sort of a setup, actually, from them on the attack. But then again, it's very, very defensive from Lupin. Like, this is kind of like harking back to when we watched Coalition Zoo playing on Himmelsdorf.
They're all in, like, less than a quarter of the map.
Yeah. When we saw Coalition Zoo playing on Himmelsdorf last season, they kind of just all sat up here in this top left corner of the map. And they had zero map control whatsoever. So the problem here for Lupin is that they are not going to have any idea what Team Efficiency is going to be doing until Team Efficiency is in position to fight them. So, you know, last round we saw Team Efficiency set up to spot the players on the cross, to do damage on the players on the cross. That's not an option here for Lupin. They're not going to be able to do that. They're basically, as soon as Team Efficiency is on the 2-cap, then Lupin's going to know where they are. Until then, at the moment, Lupin has
no idea.
Zero clue. They have zero clue what Team Efficiency is doing right now.
That's the thing, and I mean, they do, by the looks of things, have decent defenses ready to go definitely for 2, and I guess they could rotate relatively easily over to defend the 1 flag as well. But as you've said, it's Team Efficiency have free reign to go anywhere, pretty much unseen until they hit a cap point. And so, I guess until that point, it's just Lupin thinking, let's put all our eggs in the definitely defend the cap rather than try and, well, definitely attempt to defend the cap rather than doing any early damage or early information gathering.
We will see how this is going to go for Lupin, but I am thinking that it's, you know, when you put yourself in this kind of a position, you basically are hoping that your opponent is going to make a mistake because you have no outplay potential on Team Efficiency. I mean, they're giving everything to Team Efficiency for free and hoping that Team Efficiency makes a mistake. Now, this mouse,
looks
I
like
don't think he would have spotted out JT there. Perhaps he might have, but regardless, you just spot one guy out. And so, who cares? I mean, they still have no info on those guys pushing down the 0 line. They have no idea where number 2 and number 6 are, and those are the 50Bs. Those are the key tanks here for Team Efficiency. And Lupin don't want to allow them to sort of roam around the map unspotted, but that's what they're doing.
It's really, I'm not even going to say it's what they have to do, but it's what they're doing. It's all their eggs are in that basket. And be doing their best to try and, I guess, defend against Team Efficiency once they just finally decide to move, but still a bit over half of the remaining time in the round left for Team Efficiency to attack, for Lupin to try and defend, and I can only help but feel like it's a bit of staving off the inevitable here from Lupin, as once this battle gets underway, I can't help but feel, based on what we've seen, that Team Efficiency will get a roll on. They're actually moving now. That's a really rough miss.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have penetrated anyway. It may have if he would have hit like perfectly on the lower plate there, but
didn't even touch.
The angle of the mouse was pretty significant, so it was going to be tough to penetrate that one regardless. Team Efficiency here, they've got a pretty good setup. Number 5 in the mouse, taking trades against the number 5 mouse of Lupin, but JT's on the cap now. This is where we need to see Lupin reacting, and those 50Bs are going to be lying in wait, ready to pounce for Team Efficiency if someone does rotate through the southern part of the map. And guess who's rotating through the southern part of the map? The Lupin 50Bs, and this means that Team Efficiency have the advantage. They're going to be in a position to clip out these 50Bs. The 50Bs of Lupin are going to be on the move by the time they spot the Team Efficiency 50Bs, and they're going to have to take that extra second to stop, to aim, to slow down. That, in theory, should give the advantage over to Team Efficiency's 50Bs.
And JT is on the far side of this cap, cap number 2 as well, so they've got to actually push across there or behind him to get him off it. It's the same spot that Lupin started capping it from in the previous round.
Okay, this is a little bit interesting though. We do see the rotation coming across from Team Efficiency's 50Bs
on top of each
up
other
towards the north, and
that's the mouses.
In that 5 line, you can see both the mouses fighting. It's number 5 mouse of both teams. But the key problem right now for Team Efficiency is there is a rotation coming across from Lupin. All these guys, number 9, number 4, number 1, they're all going to be getting shots into the back of into the back of number 5 mouse. He is dead in a couple of seconds. So where's the trade going to come back here from Team Efficiency? Who's going to be able to get the damage across? Are they even going to be able to get enough damage across to make this worthwhile? At the moment,
number 5 mouse is taking hits.
I'm not sold on this here, to be honest, from Team Efficiency. Both these 5As pushing forward. They're not penetrating the shots they need. They're putting themselves in a really poor position. Where's the 50Bs from Team Efficiency? They need to be the ones getting a lot of work done right now, and I'm just not seeing any damage come out from Team Efficiency.
No, there goes JT as well, so they're down by 2 tanks now. The Team Efficiency 50Bs are down the bottom part of the map, fighting with number 9 and number 4, which are what? I can't.
So it's a 1-for-1 trade for the 50Bs there on the southern part of the map. Team Efficiency have absolutely far and away lost the fight up towards the top there. Yeah, I think the positioning of number 5 mouse was really not good there from Team Efficiency. He had no backup from anyone, and Lupin obviously recognized that. They decided to push in here. Number 2 must be coming off the reload before number 4 50B, so he's going to try and get some shots off, but I don't think he's going to reload it in time. He did get 1, but number 4 batch 50B has gone and gotten around behind a corner now, so he's safe. there's a mouse pushing into the Team Efficiency 50B. Yeah, there's no way Team Efficiency comes out of this one.
So our 5-1 is gone.
It is. Ripping Pepperinos.
It is done.
Again, it just comes down to that poor positioning of Team Efficiency. I suppose what the idea there was for Team Efficiency was to have that mouse in that 5 line and have the 50Bs backing him up, but the 50Bs kind of got tied up on a bit of a rotation. They got caught at the wrong time, and it just came down to timing really there for Lupin, which they ended up getting pretty good timing coming across there. So Lupin do come away with another round, but it's only going to be 4-2, so let's not get too excited. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
You jinxed them. You said we wouldn't see Prokhorovka. You said it was the last map.
I did.
Castor's cursed. It's real and alive. And
I reckon Team Efficiency just did that to spite me. Seems like it's something that they would do.
Yeah, they can hear you somehow, even though there is stream delay. They know.
They would have heard me.
Somehow magically.
Through the magical powers of Elfish Guy Internet. I don't know. Who knows?
Efficiency, Elfish Guy. It's the same word. Therefore, they know. So it is 4 plays 2. Yeah. You can only think that Efficiency is still going to close this out. And we have been harping on that a little bit, but it is a bit of an overdog matchup here for Efficiency. Yeah,
it is. It is. They are definitely the favourites coming into this one. That round there on Himmelsdorf was pretty messy coming out from them. They got caught in pretty poor positions, and they just pushed weird, like the 5As pushing it on the cap into a massive crossfire of Lupin. Not so sure I'm sold on that decision, like I said earlier on in the piece. It wasn't that impressive from Team Efficiency there on the attack of Himmelsdorf, that is for sure. But we'll move on to Prokhorovka. I have no doubts that Team Efficiency is going to get at least one of those rounds. There's no way we're going to a tiebreaker here between these two teams. And yeah, what more do I have to say, really?
That's it, really. Because, I mean, maybe Lupin could surprise and grab 1. But in my mind, there's no way they grab 2 on Prokhorovka. They could maybe get their first one, make it a 3-round. I doubt even that. I mean, I doubted they were going to get more than 1 round, so fair play. But I think it's pretty much impossible that Team Efficiency get 0-2'd on Prokhorovka.
I would definitely agree with you on that one. I would be very surprised if that was to happen, and I would think there'd be some choice words going on in the Team Efficiency team speak if that were to be the case, if they were to lose 3 in a row, because obviously they just lost that last one to Lupin. If they lost those 3 in a row, yeah, that would be pretty bad for Team Efficiency. They definitely would hold themselves to a higher standard than that, but yeah, that
number 5 mouths there, yeah. It was,
and this push, like, they kind of had to do something. I'm not sure that was the right idea, though, to be honest. And if those 50Bs would have gone 2 for 0 for Team Efficiency, then there might have been a chance, but obviously they didn't. It's going to be pretty tough to go 2 for 0 in a 2v2 between 50Bs.
Yeah, it's
you have to
usually a 1-4.
Yeah, your opponent has to really seriously stuff up with their focus fire, or just miss their shots, or something, or you have to set one of them on fire, or ammo rack one of them, or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it was not going to happen there for Team Efficiency. So yeah, disappointing from them on the attack there on Himmelsdorf. I think they'll be disappointed with that one as well. They'll want to go back to the drawing board there, because that strategy, whatever they employed, obviously didn't work out too well for them. But again, it's a bit of a learning experience, and I guess it's good for them here to be getting that out of the way. And that round on Mines out of the way against a team like Lupin, where they can pretty consistently beat them on their own day, even on their off day. To be honest, they should still be beating Dark. I literally just said Lupin. They're going to be beating Lupin. Even on their off day, they should be pretty consistently beating Lupin. So to go up against EL Gaming tomorrow here, Team Efficiency can't afford to be having rounds like that if they want to win that one.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how that goes when we get to it. But, I mean, as you said, if you're going to make mistakes like that and let any rounds through on a team that you should be 5-0 or 5-1ing, it's good to not only have it against a team that you should be, you know, getting that sort of a score line, but also to have it on day 1. Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
It's day 1 of the new season. You know, it's the first games. It's just whatever. It's happened.
Yeah, look,
you can move on. I mean, it's really early on.
As long as Team Efficiency closes out 5-3, they're still going to get the maximum amount of points out of it. You don't get more for 5-0ing, which, you know, kind of would be a bit of an interesting kind of a concept. You know, if you did get a 5-0 and then that means you get 4 points instead of 3.
That'd be interesting to change it.
I wonder how that would shake things up. I mean, I think that there would definitely be more being put into certain games, you know, like this one between Team Efficiency and Lupin. They, you know, Team Efficiency would be coming into this saying, we need to get that 5-0 so that we can get those 4 points. But anyway, that's obviously not a thing at the moment. It's 3 points for a win. Doesn't matter how many you get unless it's a tiebreaker.
Unless it's a tiebreaker,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is team efficiency, they don't care if they go 5-3 here, if they go 5-2, if they go 5-0 or 5-1. Whatever happens, they still get their maximum points, and that's what is important here for team efficiency. You know, start off their campaign pretty nicely in the WGL APAC with a maximum 3-pointer, and hopefully for them tomorrow, at least being able to get 1 point away from EL Gaming is better than what most other teams are going to be able to do. So if they can take it to the tiebreaker, even if they don't win it, that still a pretty reasonable result there from team efficiency, but that's of course a conversation for tomorrow when we do get there. So lots to look forward to here in the APAC season.
Exactly, there always is. That's what we're here for. Of course, we can talk about our day 1 matchups to death all we like, but we're not just looking at day 1 here. We're looking at tomorrow, and then further than that, at the entire season of play between these matchups, because we will have these again. As you mentioned earlier, it is a double round robin, so every team plays every other team twice. So we will, in 8 teams, 7 weeks from now, we will see this matchup again, Lupin versus Team Efficiency. But we've still got Team Efficiency versus everyone, and everyone versus everyone. And I mean, going up against EL tomorrow, Team Efficiency really, traditionally, statistically, have been the only team that can really take it to EL in the APAC region, really.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Meltdown and Horseman did take EL Gaming to a 5-4 last season once each, but they did go down in that one. Team Efficiency is the only team that's actually beaten EL Gaming, and they did it twice as well. 5-4 both of those times. Admittedly, that was earlier on last season, so that's a fair while away now. Last time they faced against EL was the grand finals of Season 2, and they lost 7-2. A very, very convincing scoreline there for EL Gaming. And before that, they lost 5-2 to EL in like the last week or the second last week of Season 2. So the momentum or the head-to-head at the moment, even though it is 2 apiece, still, in my mind, is a little bit favourable for EL. But again, we're digging really deep into that matchup.
This is a conversation.
This is a conversation for tomorrow when we do get underway with EL and Team Efficiency. For now, looking at Team Efficiency and Lupin, we're headed on to Prokhorovka. I expect we're going to probably see maybe a couple of STRVs, maybe 1 or 2 coming out from whichever team's on the defensive side. We'll see 5As maybe as well coming out here as well. It seems as though they've more or less replaced the 113s. We have seen a couple of 113s here and there.
We've seen like 2 or 3 versus the probably 15 5As we've seen.
Most of the time we're seeing the 5As. They do have the advantage of just a bit of extra alpha. The DPM is almost identical between a 113 and a 5A. It's like 2 difference. 2 to 20 difference, I think. So we do see the 5As coming out here. Batchets as well. There's an STRV. Object 261's coming out as well for both of these teams.
With the exception of that 103B, it's identical tanks.
Too much.
Yeah, Efficiency have a Mouse, Lupin have a STRV 103B. That's the only difference between the 2 teams' tank lineups.
So it's actually the STRV on the attack as opposed to the defense, and there's a good start already for Team Efficiency. Not sure who got that shot across. It was about 450 or so damage, so I'd imagine it was maybe a WZ111 or the Mouse with a low roll, or maybe a Batchat with a high roll. High roll. No, it wouldn't have been a Batchat. It wouldn't have been reloaded. So it would have been obviously a Mouse or a 5A. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent start. It's a little bit of damage. It's nothing major, but it's always nice to get that shot when there's a player spotting. You know, it just makes you feel like, yeah, I did it. I got it.
We did it. We made it. There was an arty shot looking to come through there, but no one much really spotted for that one to land, so I guess not really too many conclusions you can draw from that. We have a Batchat hiding in a bush for Team Lupin. Batchat number 1. Bush Wookie number 1. Bush Wookie is a term that will not make sense in World of Tanks.
Well, no, definitely won't.
It's from old Battlefield games when the snipers would sit in bushes and have mad
or
suits.
armor.
Or that.
As well.
It's pretty funny to see a barrel poking out of a bush, though.
Yeah, it's a stealthy tank.
The secret, the stealth wiggle.
Yeah. Here for Lupin. I mean, this is kind of what I was talking about, where this is maybe the chance that Lupin can get a bit of a lucky round over Team Efficiency. They've gambled correctly on the right side of the tracks. They've gone towards the 2 side. The thing is, though, that Team Efficiency do have an Object 261. So if there is a lot of pressure on that cap, the Arty's always more or less going to be able to get a reset pretty easily. I like this, though, from Team Efficiency. They've recognized that, you know, there's nothing really much going on. They've decided to push here, go for a bit of an information play, and they've figured out now, basically, there's no one on this side of the tracks, and we're going to have to deal with a 2-flag defense. What they do want to make sure of doing, though, is that they don't really push too aggressively here, get spotted out by Batchat number 4 on Lupin, take shots from the hill. So they are sending Staffy forward in that Batchat number 7 to just go for a bit of a scouting run, not really committing any of their other tanks.
Not just yet. Do the 2 Batchats from Lupin going to do a little sneaky jump over the railway.
Let's see if Staffy spots them out when they do go for that. He himself is spotted out, and he did spot out those guys that are up on the tracks. He got 1 track, but a nice roll for him in terms of being able to actually hit that one. So again, 2 shots of free damage coming out there for team efficiency. It's a good early start. It's nothing major, of course, nothing to really get too concerned about for Lupin, but definitely can't complain about that for team efficiency. As of yet, though, we haven't really seen the artillery having that much of an impact on either team.
Not just yet, and really it's minimal damage done. I mean, efficiency have got 1 shot into each of the Batchats, or 2 of the Batchats. No, that is, yeah, there is a 3rd Batchat, okay. Into 2 of the Batchats on Lupin. It's number 4 and number 9 that have been damaged, and ooh, the Artie.
Yeah, not too much.
A little bit of a knock.
It's a love tap.
It's a love tap. Not sure how much love there is in a gigantic artillery shell exploding on your face, but...
Hey, I mean, that could be a lot of love, Tim. Could be a lot of love.
Explosive love? There's a pop song in that somewhere.
You know. So, the setup here for Lupin, it's basically the same as it was 2 minutes ago. They have got control of the hill. I want to see them do something with it, though. I want to see them get onto that 2 flag, try and put some pressure on team efficiency here. What they are, and what they need to be concerned about, and they are concerned about, you could just see from the Object 261 on their side, looking up to that A0 position, there is a good chance, more often than not, that you're going to find some sort of a tank hidden up in one of those bushes up there. But Lupin is going to recognize now that their WZ-111 5As have pushed forward onto the cap and they're most likely not spotted, I'd have to theorize, because I don't think anyone from Team Efficiency can spot them, that they know that there's no one up in the A0 position now. This Artie here is going to be pretty crucial for Team Efficiency, getting some resets. And what Team Efficiency is going to do here is they're just going to send this Batchat forward. They're going to light those 5As. They're going to get the artillery to try and get a reset across. And oh, Staffy's managed to catch off another tank there. He's got the backup of Skell, who I think put 1 shot in there as well. You can see, or you can even hear, that there was a bit of damage to the ammo rack of that Lupin Batchat as well. So things are not going too swell at the moment for Lupin. There we go. A kill comes across. And there was a reset coming out from the artillery in the meanwhile.
Just a second ago, it did look like the Artie was aiming in. Yeah, there you go. With 5 seconds left in that reload, these tanks are spotted as well. There's a potential for a kill here from the Team Efficiency Artie. If this 5A just sits still for him, shot is out and...
I mean, there's a potential for a kill, but it's basically 0% potential because he had way too much HP to really have any sort of chance of dying there. But of course, there was always that potential for the reset.
Wait, did I say kill?
You did say kill. I think what you meant was a reset, to be honest.
That's what I wanted, thank you.
But yeah, this is pretty good. Oh, that shot's just missed, gone over the head of the mouse. Yeah. Oh no, the Object 261, I think he might have been spotted there as well. Yeah, he was. Skell takes him down. That's a big blow for Lupin here as well, because it means that their sort of poke war is going to be lost. Oh, ding.
It's a big
goes
bounce.
Right up into the moon.
That's a big hit on number 8 5A though, and number 5 has to get out of there as the damage is coming in thick and fast from Team Efficiency. So at this point, it's looking like Team Efficiency are well in with the upper hand in potentially getting towards that 5-3 and closing this one out, but it's not all yet said and done. That might be a way to get it there though, as number 5W, the 5A is what I wanted to say.
5A, yep.
5-5A.
Just go with 5A, it's easy. Yeah, this round's over though.
It is. 7 versus 3. Batchat number 2 on an adventure to go and find Batchat number 1, who's hiding up in, where is that? In the back corner of A0. Should find him out pretty quickly. 103B is getting tagged down as well. No one from Lupin is near the caps at all. Pretty much at this point, just waiting for the cleanup. There is a kill onto Skell for number 9 Batchat, so consolation prize at least. The Artie, it looks like he's just waiting for the spot on...
That's exactly what he's waiting for. As soon as someone up on that hill gets spotted, he's already basically pre-aimed on them and should have a pretty good shot at it. But yeah, I think at this point, Lupin might as well just wait up on that hill and wait for their eventual death.
Embrace it. It's coming. Not much you can do about it. The 103B on just 210 HP. Batchat doing a little bit better, but yep, there's the spot. And here comes the Artie. Nope.
Batchat.
The Batchat might go down to the Artie, but he's hiding in a bush, so 5A is going to have to get right up on top of the hill to spot him, but there is 2 of them and 1 of the Batchat, so I don't think Lupin are left too much longer in this series, in this best of 5, and it should, and best of 9 even, first to 5. It should indeed be Team Efficiency taking this one out very soon.
Yeah, very soon. I mean, it might actually take them a little while to chase down this bat chat because
chasing bat chats, man.
they don't have too many bat chats of their own that are on very much HP. So really, it's down to the 5As actually to do the lion's share of the hunting. But eventually they will spot him out, and he's basically in a position here now where he can't actually run away. He's stuck in that little hole, and I think JT's just got a light onto him, proxy spot or something, regardless of what it was. No, even actually, I think it was just number 3 driving down the side of the cliff, and Artie to close it out.
Possibly.
Nope.
Ooh, close.
I think they were waiting for it, but
there's JT to do it.
JT gets it done, and that means it's a 5-2 in the favour of Team Efficiency over Lupin. A pretty successful start to their WGL APAC extended season. Maybe not as comfortable as we expected or predicted it to be, but
we're a round off.
It was pretty much a foregone conclusion there for Team Efficiency over Lupin. There was some shakiness coming out from Team Efficiency. It wasn't a perfect run from them, but it was good enough to beat Lupin. And
a win's a win.
Hopefully they're going to be able to have a good game against EL Gaming tomorrow.
But that's tomorrow, which we'll figure out when we get there. For now, though, I mean, it was, as you said, it was a bit shaky, you know, on mines. They didn't spot the cross with the 3 bat chats, or if they did, they didn't get shots into them, so that was, you know, not the end, but the beginning, possibly, of a slide towards the end on that mines one, and then the other round they lost. Just a bit of a different setup that didn't work out for them over on Prokhorovka. That's the one. The rounds they lost,